Every Kenyan benefits from our country's fertile land, fresh air, and rich forests. But how often do we think of the extent that our lives depend on nature? Among the many natural resources we derive from nature, our iconic wildlife stands out. One in every 12 jobs in Kenya is linked to wildlife, usually through tourism. In 2019, tourism brought in 164 billion shillings. But Kenya has lost nearly 70% of its wildlife in the past 40 years due to growing pressures, including human-wildlife conflict, poaching, and loss of habitat. The majority of our wildlife lives on community and private lands. Local communities have lived well with wildlife for many generations, but this is an increasingly threatened coexistence. That is why more than 100 groups of Kenyans have come together to register community conservancies under wildlife and land laws that help protect them. Over the past 10 years, this community-led conservation movement has shown that it is possible and indeed beneficial to balance the needs of people and wildlife. In these conservancies, benefits from ecotourism and other enterprises are channeled to community development projects, including improved access to healthcare, new schools and educational scholarships, water access projects, peace and security, new livelihoods for women and youth, improved and more sustainable grazing, leadership opportunities for women, and more. This is perhaps the best example of people-led development. All these benefits mean there is demand from communities to establish more conservancies in Kenya, and urgent action is needed to support this growth. We have not inherited this land from our ancestors, but rather, we have borrowed it from our children. And by supporting Indigenous people to manage our remaining wild spaces, we can ensure that the next generation receives the same benefits from wildlife that we have now.